1.
Good day, U.S. history students. Mr. Deegan in the VidNotes zone. It's 7-2, the learning target. I will understand how the U.S. expanded its influence in Latin America, here it is, and China in the 1900s. The U.S. is opening itself up. Let's learn how. America's Open-Door Policy. This is from 7-1. In 1899, U.S. Secretary of State John Hay, here he is, urged all foreigners in China to obey Chinese law. If they did that, they could trade with this Asian country. The Spanish-American War was a way America opens itself up. When is it? It starts in April of 1898. And it ends in August of 1898. It's a short 6-month war. Why was it fought? Spain owned many Latin American countries as colonies, including Cuba. The U.S. government sided with Cuba and supported its wishes for freedom. And here you see Uncle Sam tugging the U.S. Navy to the island of Cuba. Who won the Spanish-American War? The U.S. Navy dominated the Spanish Navy. Why did the U.S. win? The U.S. sent a strong army to Cuba. The group of soldiers was nicknamed the Rough Riders. It was led by a general named Theodore Roosevelt, who would later become U.S. president. And here you see a picture of the Rough Riders. There's the American flag. And at the center of the photograph is Theodore Roosevelt, the head of the Rough Riders. What were the outcomes of the Spanish-American War? The U.S. added Puerto Rico as its territory. The U.S. also annexed or added the Philippines, which had been owned by Spain before the war, and the U.S. asserted, meaning claimed, its right to interfere in Cuban affairs. The U.S. said, we're trying to protect freedom here, so it's okay for us to go to Cuba. And here you see the Caribbean island known as Puerto Rico, which became a part of the U.S. after this war, and all the way in the South Pacific, you see the islands of the Philippines, which to this day were affiliated with the U.S. The U.S. builds the Panama Canal. In 1904, the U.S. starts building the Panama Canal in Latin America. U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt agreed to buy the land from France for a cool $40 million. And here is the 26th president of these United States, Theodore Roosevelt, who gained a rep as a strong leader after the Spanish-American War. And here you see how much easier the Panama Canal made travel by water. You see, taking the Panama Canal, how much time it saves getting from San Francisco to New York. Without the Panama Canal, you had to go all the way around the continent of South America. The Panama Canal helps out the U.S. The Panama Canal Part 2. The U.S. encouraged Panama's independence from Colombia. The U.S. and Colombia negotiated a treaty to build the canal. And here's the canal. And here you see Panama in green, and its neighbor to the east is Colombia. They had some disputes, and the U.S. helped negotiate those disputes. How does U.S. get Hawaii? It wasn't always a state. In 1893, a group of American sugar planters overthrew Hawaii's queen and took the land for the U.S. And here is the queen of Hawaii, the last queen. Her name, Liliuokalani. In 1898, US used Pearl Harbor Navy base in Hawaii during the Spanish-American War. And in 1959, Hawaii becomes the 50th and last US state to join the Union. We are almost done. Please write 2 questions you have about Lesson 7-2. Don't forget the Canvas quiz. We are done for today.